Welcome back to our podcast, Her Digital Empire. My name is Erika, for those of you who are listening in for the first time. I am a full-time graphic designer as well as an entrepreneur. I've got a couple stores for that, so we've dived into the more of the business side of it rather than just the self-employed side of it, as well as this podcast. So we talk about all things graphic design related, entrepreneurial, Etsy, you name it. My husband Jesse is also here with me today.
How we doing?
And he'll be kind of the second voice. He also does all the marketing for me, so which is super great if you need some help with marketing. He'll be giving his 2 cents on things like that, and just kind of being my backbone for everything that goes on in my business, as well as just before we start diving in, I just wanted to remind you really quick, if you have a moment, please subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, all that stuff that you can subscribe on it. I don't know all the things. Your Apple app. I don't know. But yeah, so today we wanted to dive into a specific topic, which is actually talking to not just the graphic designers, but those of you who hire graphic designers, and it's really, something that I think every graphic designer talks about on a daily basis with their peers or in their groups or whatever, and it's what your graphic designer wishes or wants you to know. So there's things that, there's certain etiquettes and certain things that when you're purchasing a service from a graphic designer, whether it's on Etsy or it's, you found them in Facebook, or in a group or anything, there's a certain process, right, that I know that a lot of people kind of miss or don't understand because I deal with it on a daily basis. So I thought it would be smart to kind of give you some tips so that the process does go smoothly and your graphic designer does not fire you. Because
that can happen.
Because that happens all the time. You may not even know it's happened to you. It's just all of a sudden they're super booked.
Right. Forever.
So, if you like a certain, graphic designer style, and you don't want them to fire you, there's a certain way to handle things. And I understand that, I took me out of anybody. I promise you, I understand what it's like to be on the other side and feel like you're right, and that your point needs to get across, and you need to make the person feel like they are wrong, and they need to know that. And I don't know if that's like a woman thing. I feel like that's not even like a graphic designer or like an entrepreneur or like a customer thing. It's just a woman thing. Like, we do this a lot.
Yeah. I can't speak on that.
There's literally like a meme made of like a certain type of customer. They call it Karen, and she has a like super weird short haircut.
Have you ever been a Karen, do you think?
Maybe in restaurants, maybe, because if I see, for me it's like triggers.
Sure.
So if I feel like the server or the person that's helping me at a bank, right, it's usually always women that trigger me. It's never men. If they have a tone where it's like they are servicing me and like I'm lucky for that, I get irritated by it.
Sure.
So the good example is when we went to Lazy Dog the other day. Lazy Dog's like this super awesome restaurant in Southern California, and this girl, screwed up bad. She ordered, she was super cool, she was super friendly, and she ordered, or she had me order my breakfast a specific way because I wanted it a specific way, and my breakfast ended up coming the opposite way that we had spoken, that I said I didn't want. And anyway, my whole family finished their meal before my food even came. But the reason why I didn't flip out on her or like get pissed off or anything is because, first of all, in the beginning, she took an effort to try and make me happy. So I mentioned what I didn't like about the entree and what I did like, and then she gave me recommendations, whereas most people are like, well, so what do you want?
Right.
She gave she tried to help. And then, so that kind of got me, where I was thinking, wow, this person is a good server. And then I felt like she was attentive. So a lot of times when I see the server disappear because they can't handle the pressure of like a mad customer, they will not they will not show up anymore. They avoid your table. And I understand that, I can understand where it comes from because some people can't handle confrontation, but it actually makes things worse. So what I've learned, like when I was serving before I became a graphic designer, and a bartending, if somebody was upset, I was extra attentive.
Sure.
And I never got bad tips from them.
Sure.
They always ended up tipping me over. And I promise you it's because people want attention. And so, there's things that you learn, but of course, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and so like, what would be, I guess like, I just like kind of popped into my head. It's like, like let's say that the waitress is like really nice to you, right? Like above and beyond, like this girl was. Okay, and you're still a bitch, right? You're still like really
right.
Good, okay,
I'm just a mean person then. Right. I'm just my boyfriend broke up with me that morning, and I feel like taking it out on somebody.
Right. So let's say that's okay.
That's a Karen.
Right.
That's a Karen. So I can't even say I'm really a Karen.
You're not a Karen
because I am like one of those people who just like I don't like it when people like. Don't know their place, like you're here, you don't understand your job description if you're treating me like you're better than me.
Right. I guess what I was gonna say though is like, so for instance, like if this was like related to like graphic design, right? And I think there's a lot of similarities there.
That's what I'm getting into.
Right.
That's what I'm gonna get into.
But what I'm saying is like you recognized the above and beyond thing.
Exactly.
And the other thing is that you're not eating with this person. Like how you were saying, like, oh, and then you get real quiet.
And then I gotta worry. Yeah, exactly. Yes. So, and then, oh God, it's like, I don't know. I really think it's like a personality thing, right?
Sure.
So like if just some people don't know they're awful. They just don't know they're awful. I was in this group, I'm in this Facebook group, and I watched this girl who thought she was right post up like screenshots of her talking to a graphic designer about, she just wanted a refund because she didn't feel like her work was up to par or something. And she got chewed out because of the way she was talking to her.
Awful. Yeah.
She was just awful.
Yeah.
And everybody was saying, you need to apologize to her. And it's so funny because people think that I feel like it's a lot like because of the times with Amazon, with live chats, with not even talking to people on the phone anymore.
Yeah.
You feel it's like that keyboard warrior thing.
Sure.
Right? Like it even you can even like see it in like politics. You can see it in online when people rip apart celebrities and stuff. People are so much more braver because they're just typing.
Right.
Right?
They don't have to actually like.
So if you're face to face with me, I guarantee you're not going to say the things to me that you said to me typing or even on the phone.
Right.
So like before in the beginning of my business, I used to allow phone calls. I don't so much anymore because I've learned from companies like PayPal and Etsy and things like that, they want everything in writing. If you have anything that's not in writing, it's up for grabs kind of a thing, and it's he said, she said. So it's best to just have everything in writing. But before, when I accepted phone calls from new clients, I remember having this girl in the very beginning, and I won't mention her name, but she was just awful. She was a Karen. I can't even give her credit for anything. She was just a freaking awful client. And when she would message me or email me, it was like, what did I do? Did I kill your child? Like, what did I do?
Right.
And then I decided I'm gonna get on the phone with her. And like as soon as I got on the phone with her, the entire project, like the demeanor, like her demeanor, everything changed. Mm-hmm. And she even got to the point where she was apologizing. Yeah. And I think it's because people don't accept, people can't handle confrontation. A lot of people can't. Right. So as soon as you're talking to somebody on the phone, it's a completely different thing. You can hear their tone, their voice. They become a real person.
Yeah, they can be a text because they feel there's that line of protection.
Yeah, like that whole breakup via text thing,
right.
Text message breakup. Yeah, like it's just when you're writing something, it's just a lot easier to be awful. Yeah. So it's and the reason why I'm even spending a lot of time on this is because a lot of it is just learning how to react correctly to. If you don't like something. So let's go through an actual process, okay? So let's say you actually hire a graphic designer who you think has good good work. That's why I would assume you would hire them. The only other option is hiring somebody because they're cheap and you're just hoping it's going to be okay. We're not even going to get into that because that's just, you should not be doing that.
Yeah.
But if you hire somebody for, let's say you spend $60 on a social media flyer, and this person, for whatever reason, delivers something that is not their average work. Okay, so let's break this down. Number one, and I love, don't even try and think, well, this person did not have a process that gave me where I had to give them and they had to tell me the certain amount of, like, shut up. This is your business. This is on you. Okay, this is your money. Are you trying to waste your money, or are you trying to make more money? So take my advice and check your ego and keep it at the door. And remember that this is actually on you if you want this to come out the best that it possibly can. Forget the person's process. They are doing the best that they can, and if they have a good process, that's great for them. But a lot of times, certain businesses and things like that, websites that they're on, they don't even allow for that type of process. Etsy, awful process. If I was on Fiverr, I'd have an amazing process because they set it up for me. Etsy is really meant for like people who sell jewelry and things like that. So the process can only be so good. If it's on my website, I have now the option to build a website that has a specific process, that has a back office for the client, that has, a questionnaire and all these things. And this just does not exist for certain websites.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you can only blame the other person so much. You have to blame yourself. You have to you have to give yourself, really, the responsibility. Whenever I walk into a conversation or I walk into a tough situation, let's say I'm not happy with a bank charging me a certain fee that I don't want. I'm not going to walk in there and say, I demand that you remove the fee. This is on you. No, I'm going to walk in there with the goal to get it removed. And I am then going to be strategic in what I say to the person, the banker that I'm talking to try and get that fee removed, because the goal is to get the fee removed. So why would you spend your time belittling the person who has to now be creative for you, right? And creativity, it can be blocked by your bad attitude.
Great, yeah.
Why would you spend your time belittling that person and putting them on blast and doing all these crazy things that customers do when your goal, the money that you handed over, your goal is to get a good project, like a good flyer, a good whatever the heck you order.
Yeah. It's
crazy.
And I think a lot of like people out there that work with graphic designers, like I feel like they think they have more I feel like they think they have more protection. Their money's more protected than it is. Like they talk to you like they can easily
this is McDonald's.
Like, yeah, they can easily just get their money back because they're talking to a corporation.
And remember that too. Your terms, your ideas of what terms should be are not their terms. Everybody has different terms.
Yes.
Just because, and if you're like, oh, well, you didn't show me your terms, that's not my responsibility to show you my terms. They are somewhere on a website, and if they're not on a website, now you have an opening, Miss Lawyer, or Mr. Lawyer, whatever you're trying to, prove right now. These are the questions you should be asking when you're hiring a designer. What is your refund policy? Do you even give one? So, and also too, like I said, so let's, if you are looking at previous work, if you're looking at portfolio, just, if you can pull from that portfolio, say, I like this of this, I like this of this, because you know that person can accomplish that because they did that before.
Sure.
Okay. Another thing that kind of irks me, and I'm going to bring this up because it's ridiculous. I love it when clients will take work from another designer and they'll give it to me and they'll say, make this.
And then you're like, why are you not telling that person?
Why aren't you going to that designer?
Because you've already ruined that relationship.
Ruined that relationship, which I don't want to hire you. Or, I don't want you to hire me at that point. Or you think that I'm cheaper.
Yeah.
And I'm not happy with that.
Yeah. No, that's like a thing that you've got to think about, I guess. But you're right. Like they think, I love when clients are like, oh, I've been to like 6 different designers, and none of them are able to get my.
Oh yeah, sure, I'll take your money. Yeah, right. I don't want your hell.
Yeah.
Like you've been. I can't tell you how many times I have shot somebody away, and I'm nice about it. I'm professional about it. I'm always it's my booked schedule. That's just what it is. I will not book my schedule with rude clients. If you are rude to me before you've given me money, do not think that I'm going to take your money. I don't need it.
Or you've been rude in the past and you come back.
And if you're rude in the past and you ended up getting a refund out of me or an exchange or something, which is not in my policy, but I somehow allowed it or something, guess what? You've now been fired.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And for good. We literally, like, we don't actually have a list of names on our wall, but, like, we basically know every single person that's been horrible. And I love, sometimes they'll like switch their name, or like switch their account.
I've literally had that. I have literally had somebody switch their account so that they can try and get work done for me when they've been an absolute
disaster,
horrible person in the past. And you know, it's easy to say, oh well, you're just backing on customers or whatever. No. I am doing this for a reason. I am trying to teach you how to treat the people that you work for. Okay, so that your company doesn't go to shit. So a good example of this, I'll bring him up as one of the best CEOs I've ever seen, is Howard Schultz. Okay, he's the previous CEO of Starbucks. He was amazing. He had the partners. That's what you called it yourself if you were a Starbucks worker. He had the partners so taken care of. He gave them stocks. You got a free coffee before, a free coffee after your shift, as many free coffees as you want during your shift, because he wanted you to have a pep in your step while you're working. Absolutely genius. I could go on the things that you were allowed to have. So I worked for Starbucks. I was a supervisor there. When my sister passed away, my sister actually, it was like huge, and I had to take a week off of work. They paid me for that week of work, not out of my vacation hours. It was just pay for the bereavements, is what I believe. They also recommended that I write in a letter and let them know what had happened, because it was not a normal thing. And they actually covered part of her funeral costs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And that is the kind of stuff that makes a company a good company, right? So when you care about other people, the people that you work for, or the people that work for you, if you care about them, you will get back tenfold. Those people will be loyal to you. Those people will care about you. They will want to give you good work. They will want to spend more time on your stuff and I took pride in my drinks when I made my drinks, and customers would ask, can I have Erika make my drink? Because I took pride in it. I became a coffee master. I had the black apron. You have to go to extra school for that. It's the same thing with your business.
I really feel like a lot of people out there, and it's like you said, you'll do better work if the person's like not like putting their foot on your head. It's like it's amazing. Yes. Like the
control freaks,
like the food wine tester mentality, like that. Oh, get this out of here. Oh, don't like this. Like
who are you?
Yeah, exactly. The crazy thing is like the people that I've noticed that treat like you and other graphic designers and the best are the successful ones.
Yes.
Are the ones that have successful businesses.
Yes.
That you would think if they wanted to be a little bit meaner, or look what I've done, look what I've accomplished.
Yes.
But it's like the people that have accomplished
You know
nothing.
What? Everything I was just saying, even about like Howard Schultz and Starbucks, I'm talking about $1 billion company, an amazing, huge company that owns the world.
Right.
Okay.
And this dude is great. He's a good human. Like treats people well.
And there is a correlation with what Jesse just brought up. All of my good clients that are returning clients are successful. Wow. About that. My real good clients who come back, who when I tell them a price, they don't say to me, wow, I can't believe you're charging that much, or right. I don't know, that's too whatever the heck, it's just like they just accept it and they say that's what you're worth, and they believe I'm worth that,
and they either pay or they don't. But like it's like that's the thing. It's like why even comment anything other than yes or not comment. Like we don't need to know
your opinion on my pricing.
That's another thing. It's like what? Okay.
That's another thing.
You know?
Yes. The opinions on the pricing. That's just me. Honestly, it only makes the customer look bad. It only makes you look bad when you're commenting on how much.
Have you ever gone in and gotten your nails done with a nail tech and been like, nail tech, that's too expensive? Like, what? Who? Go away then. Just go away.
I 100% agree. When I get my eyebrows waxed, my girl is not cheap, okay? She does the sugaring. She talks to me the entire time. She remembers that I have a kid. She asks me about following up about things from the previous time. That is somebody I'm willing to pay money to because she does her job well, right? Mm-hmm. And she respects me and I respect her. And I respect her by over tipping. I do. I know that when I overtip and when I treat her with respect and I ask her about her life and her kids, I know that there's a relationship that's been built there, and that's being built there, and it's a positive relationship, and it's showing her that I appreciate her. I appreciate the work that she's done. She gets excited when, I'm working that when I book her, she's excited that I'm booking her. Because she's going to get over tipped because she's going to get to talk to somebody who's interested in...
Not miserable.
Yeah, and not miserable the entire freaking time. You treat people... you teach people how to treat you, right?
Yeah.
And it's the same goes with a customer. I mean, I can even remember, like, as a server, just jumping back to that, I remembered certain customers and telling people, can you take their table? I won't take it.
Right.
And I was a good server. Right. And it's like, you want a good server, right? You came for good service. Well, now you're going to get somebody with less service experience because I'm not willing to serve you.
Now, you wouldn't hide. This is before they would...
no, this wasn't hiding. This would be like, if I saw them walking in the door, I would tell the hostess, don't seat me with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just how it was.
And it's just like, to, like you said, like circling back, it's like they're like, hello, hello. It's like, no, you know why you're not getting talked to.
Exactly.
Like,
you know exactly
you were horrible,
why. Yes. Read our previous conversation and you will see it.
It's the weirdest thing to me though. It's like you probably make 20 times accurately, like 20 times the amount of money that some of these people make, and yet they talk to you like you should like.
That's a good point too. So I'm a woman with a successful business, and I even have clients who I can even say could be friends at this point who talk to me. I give them business advice for free if they ask. I do. Yeah. Because they're on that level with me, they built that bond. They built that relationship where now if they ask me something, I'm not saying $50 for your time, please.
Right.
Because I genuinely enjoy it. I genuinely enjoy talking to them. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when you stop, the more people like you, the more things open up for you. It's amazing how, if you're a likable person, how much more you will actually enjoy life and you will get out of life because people are happy to be around you.
Yeah.
If you're not somebody who, I say this to Jesse a lot. Some of the girls who, and I'm saying girls because most of my clients are girls. Some of the girls who come to me, when they speak to me, they talk to me like they're the Devil Wears Prada.
Right.
Okay? Right. Where it's snap, snap, chop, chop, do this, not good, fix, refund, not even a full sentence. And it's like, are you just trying to make everybody around you miserable? Right. Or are you trying to make something I don't know.
Those are the people that have like, let's say like 10 friends. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, like fast forward 6 months later, they have like one friend, but they blame the other 9 people,
But it's a bad habit, which is why I began this conversation with, really this is kind of a habit that you have to learn how to change. Right. Because if you're treating a graphic designer like this, you're probably treating your boyfriend like this. You're probably treating your kids' teachers like this. You're probably treating the grocery store lady like this. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
How you do anything is how you do everything.
Exactly. And I go, like I said, believe me, I've had my blow-ups with people. Whether, like I said, if it's been a banker or if it's been server or if it's been whatever, but it takes a lot to get me to that point where I feel, to the point where it's just full on disrespect, right? And then I have to be the tough guy. that's happened to me. I can't say that it's not happened to me. I'm not going to sit here on my high horse and say, oh, you, clients suck, customers suck. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that, I've grown a lot too in the past few years, where you just have to learn, like, if you have to learn how to be a pleasant person.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can focus on being a pleasant person, it's amazing how, like I said, things in your life will change. It's kind of like that whole what goes around comes around, yin yang thing. Now, I was talking a little bit about the processes that would help what your client, what your graphic designer wants you to know, right? So we spent so much time on your attitude because, Jesus, it's like that's like the number one thing that'll just wreck your graphic designer's creativity altogether. They will just not be creative. But the other thing is that the number two thing that I have that's really I struggle with is vagueness. So vagueness can be, even if I follow up and ask, well, I need more details, it can be blamed on me. It happens where they will say, well, you didn't ask me, right? Yeah. And I'm just going to go back to my first thing that I said, where it's on you if you want this flyer to turn out good. If you tell the person blue, gold glitter, say something like this, you don't have exact, like, you don't have like an exact plan of how you want it to look or inspiration or anything like that, I'm sorry, but it's more likely than not that you're not gonna even like the flyer, even from the best of the best. One of the things that I think that you have full control over as a client is how specific you are. So I go back to, I have a few clients who make over $1 million a year, selling hair and or hair products. And those clients, they don't come to me and say, this is your job, do something that's going to look good.
Right.
They already have the marketing plan put together. They already know what their advertising budget is, what they want everything to look like. And then they explain that to me, and it's my job to then visually create that. I am not being paid. And if you're a graphic designer listening, listen to this. You are not being paid to create a marketing plan for the client. The client is not paying you when a client purchases a flyer. They're not paying you to come up with a marketing creative plan where they say, well, you're the fucking designer.
Key. Yeah, this is key.
They have to explain to you what their marketing strategy is, what the details need to be, the text exactly, and what they need you to design, and it's your job to design it. A good example would be, so when you hire like an interior designer, right? They get more creative with it. They get to tell you, well, this is the plan, blah 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 blah. But the designer is going to say to you, well, are you looking for more of a modern vibe, or are you looking for more of a farmhouse vibe?
They have a process too.
What if you like modern and you tell them do whatever and they come up with farmhouse? You're going to want to kill them because they're two completely different interior styles, and it's your job at the end of the day to reiterate this. Does this make sense?
Yeah. I think that
they're two different jobs.
This is actually a really good thing because, especially for what you're trying to accomplish with this podcast episode, it's like I feel like a lot of clients think that you've just got all this creativity going on in your head 24/7. And you're just waiting for the next person to pay, and then you're just gonna pop this thing out. But what graphic design really is the person. And I've even thought about things that I've ordered. I've been like, no, that's true. I get specific with what I want, and the graphic designer puts it together. I don't tell them make something. Just do
Just
something.
do whatever.
Yeah, just get creative. I trust your. And some of them try to be nice, like I trust your creativity. Like no.
Do not trust my creativity because
Right.
I don't know your business.
Right.
I don't know your company. I don't know your brand mood.
Who you're targeting? Yeah.
None of it. You know
Yeah.
how many of these girls have sent me like a mood board or like, you know what I mean? Like maybe 2%. Like I don't get anything.
Right.
So the best thing to do is show me inspiration. Is to show me details. To give me as much details as possible to have an idea. If you don't have an idea of what you want, don't hire somebody yet. Figure it out first. Jump on Pinterest.
That's great. Yeah.
Do some research. Create a board that you can share with your designer and say, this is the whole vibe I'm going for. And then say, be creative.
It's kind of like going in, like if you were in a business and you were going to go talk to a VC,
Yes.
you know, and tell them they need to invest in your business, but like really not have your P's and Q's together. Like it's kind of the same thing. It's like you're going into an artist, and you're telling the artist to just create art, but you're not telling them what it is. Like that's crazy.
My happiest clients tell me exactly what they want.
Right. There was a girl, we won't mention names obviously. There was the girl a couple weeks ago, I think, and she was almost too specific where we were like, oh man, that's but she still gave like leeway. She ended up being a great client. Her logo came out well. But the thing is like she took your questionnaire thing like really
seriously
and gave you very detailed.
So I have a logo questionnaire that I ask them to kind of get a vibe for what they're going for, and some clients will just ignore certain questions they won't even answer.
Right.
Some clients will say whatever, they'll be so vague, like one word answers, and they don't get what they want ever.
Right. Like how do you want your colors? Soft.
Right, exactly. Like what am I supposed? Sometimes I show Jesse. I'll be like in the process and I'm like, Jesse, look at this. Like, look at this. Look at what I'm working with right now. I could cry.
Yeah.
And, it's because I genuinely care about giving my clients a good product. I'm not trying to just send them off with whatever and collecting their money. I believe, like, I care and I believe, like, my work increases my clients' income. And so when I'm not given what I'm asked, or I'm not given enough, it's one of the number one things I struggle with as a graphic designer.
The other thing too is the trusting your graphic designer after they've created something. Like how many of these clients like come back with like the revisions and stuff, and like they ruin.
Okay, so this is another thing. So yes, so this is not just me. This is a lot of graphic designers. This is like, you'll see memes on this where you deliver this a gorgeous thing, right? And you put your time into it. You put your creativity into it. You put research into it. And the client will send you 50 changes and they'll hack it up so bad that it is just so, you don't even want to put it in your portfolio.
Exactly.
It's like, let's just get this out of here and be done. And it gets me so sad when I deliver this amazing thing and the person's standards are not up to my standards. And at the end of the day, they're paying for it. They get what they want. But yes, there is an element of trusting the graphic designer in the fact that this is their job. It's their job to deliver something that is up to par and of value and is going to give you results. So why would you hack that up?
Yeah, it's like if I were to go in and have somebody like pick out an outfit. You know those people that help you shop, like pick out really good outfits, and then like but it's their job, right? It's what they're professional at.
Right.
And then you say, no, I'm gonna go with this.
So there's a difference. I have two different types of clients. I have the clients who hire me for to put together a brand for them, and then I have clients who hire me for like a la carte, like where they have a brand built and I'm adding to the brand, like product labels or something. So the clients that this issue I run into more with the clients who I create their brand for them. If you hire me to create your brand, I don't know why you think that you should just like hack it up like that, because you hired me to create something that I know is going to help make you a lot of sales. So why would you, with no experience, go and hack it up because your daughter's favorite color is pink and you want it pink for that? Like, are you kidding me? What does that have to do with your business?
Right.
Oh, because it means something? Good job. It's gonna be your freaking hobby for the next 5 years because you paid me for nothing at that point.
it's wild. And I mean, we see this in all kinds of different industries, but it's just wild they what they think.
If I explain to you why I did something, sometimes I'll it's not a clapping back, but it's an explaining why I did what I did, and I don't agree with you, right? So if I have a client who purchased a brand from me and they want this and this and this changed, and I choose to not agree with you, you now have gotten your money's worth, because I am fighting back on you on what your brand should be, because I care. If I don't care and I just follow up with your changes, you've wasted your money, because I'm just accepting that you are not.
And the thing is, and you alluded to this, like the goal of the graphic designer is to obviously come up with something that's good,
Yes.
so that you can then showcase to show other people what you're able to do.
Yes.
And I'll tell you, if you're listening to this and you've never seen your stuff showcased, from a graphic designer that you've used, it's probably because you didn't trust their opinion and you hacked it up. Like, it's crazy.
And now I know it's a little confusing, because it's like we started off talking about flyers and how you should know what your marketing is and all this stuff. We're not talking about that. We're talking about, if you hire somebody to do your logo, if you hire somebody to pick your colors and your brand fonts, and then you go and you destroy that.
Yeah. These are the ground floor up people. These are
it's Jesus. What are you doing to yourself? You're just wasting your money at that point. You don't know what you're talking about. You're not in this business.
Yeah.
You're not in the business. And you can say, well, you've been only doing it for so many years. Did you go to school? Blah, blah, blah. No. I have been working with clients now that make millions of dollars a year.
Yeah.
I work with them on a daily basis. I know what they need to grow. I work with them on their marketing plans and their marketing materials. Do you really think that I don't know what I'm talking about, and you know what you're talking about because your cousin said that, the C is too cursive-y?
We had the one client, once again, we won't mention any names, from Wisconsin. And she didn't have a brand, and she trusted you to come up with what it was, like $70,000 a month, like 3 months later.
Yes.
But that's the thing, like you've got
to. She had $70,000 a month. And yeah, she I did her whole brand. I did her logo. I did her colors. I did her fonts. I did her website. Yeah. I did all of it, and yeah, she was clearing $70,000 a month in her business. And it's just an example of, you can give whatever the heck you're saying in your head. I'm telling you right now, as a graphic designer who I've worked now with successful people and unsuccessful people, okay? The people who are successful are the ones who have a vision of what they want, okay? This vision is then executed through their marketing plans. If I'm putting together their brand, they trust me to put together a solid brand that is going to create more money for them, more income. If they don't trust me and they're trying to control every aspect, they should not hire me. That's a waste of money, and they should just hire a graphic designer to create each item that they want specifically, and not ask for a full brand package. It's just a waste of money, and I don't want to deal with the headache anyway. So save me the headache, save yourself some money, and go to Fiverr and tell them exactly what you want, and just try and get the cheapest price for it.
Sure.
That's my honest opinion. That's really, if I were the client, and I have been the client, and a lot of times, whether, like I said, I even outsource, right? If I need to outsource work, I am a certain specific way with my people that I'm working with, and that's why they stick around with me, right? There have been times where I have like low quality people, because again, if you're outsourcing, you're trying to get kind of like the cheapest price because you're the middleman in a way. And that I've run into some issues with before. So if you have that type of a business where you're trying to be a middleman, I get it. It's rough. You're just going to go through the hard people before you really find the one that's going to help you and work with you, and then you treat them really well, right? But again, if you are in a business like hair, boutique, this lashes, or not even beauty, if you're in something else, if you just, it's important for you to if I were you, I would sit down and I would write out a mission statement, and put this with your, your business plan and all the binder, whatever the heck you have that has all your stuff. And I would create some type of a rule for yourself with how you and your employees are going to treat the people who work for you. And Starbucks had this. And it's very important. In fact, I worked at Hooters too, so I was a bartender there. We had in our, it was created by HR. We had in our back rooms, we had like this, I remember now, this whole like thing they had created about treating, each other and treating, the management treating the girls a certain way. And it was like a whole marketing plan they put together for it. But this is something that businesses do. This is something that they have to sit down and they have to say, this is what our business is going to stand for. This is what this is the voice that our business is going to have. And we're going to stick to that voice. And that is what is going to make us succeed. And that's part of the whole having vision thing. But yeah, other than that, I just wanted to spend some time kind of going over that stuff. Hopefully I didn't feel it, or hopefully I didn't sound like I was ranting.
No, I think you did a good job of avoiding that, because it's a very easy topic, and it's one that I'm sure it doesn't really matter if you're a graphic designer, you could be in anything, and that you've dealt with people that they just have these really crazy expectations when they come into to deal with people in the service industry, and it's pretty wild. And then to like I was saying earlier, it's like if you were gonna go to a restaurant, right? And you were going to belittle the waitress, but then expect that waitress to deal with you every single day and be top notch, and you continue. It's just it's very weird expectations.
Yes.
And graphic design is with something that's so important as branding. You would think that and a lot of your clients get it, but it's like you would think that is one of the most important people. If
you remember too, I talked about Devil Wears Prada really quick.
Yeah.
You know that she got fired at the end, right?
Oh, she does?
Because they talked about how she's the devil.
Oh.
And her bitchiness ended her career.
Really? I didn't see the movie, so.
Yeah, so she was this tyrant bitch, but she was the main editor or whatever. And I think it was Vogue. I'm not sure, or maybe Prada. I really don't remember, but I remember at the end when she got close to her, she found out that they were pushing her out. And do you really think if she was liked and she treated people better that she would have been pushed out as fast? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'll
just say, it's if you think being mean to people is part of your brand, like you're high end, but you're making $30 a month in your brand new business, it's probably a good idea to check that attitude at the door.
Yes, the strong women are the ones who know when to be, who can handle their emotions and control their emotions.
Exactly. And
can stay a certain level. Great example is Hillary Clinton. I don't care what you think about her politically. That woman, you could not shatter her. She is just freaking 1 degree I've never seen her rattled.
Yeah, the other day, not to get all weird and off topic, but they asked her if she's ever dated women or and she was totally rock solid there, didn't throw her off. That's weird.
That is
oh, it was Howard Stern. Yeah, Howard Stern asked her that.
She is so cool as a clam. Yeah. That's your goal in life, is to be cool as a clam like Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
right. Well, again, if you have a moment, just don't forget to subscribe to this podcast. We'll be talking about a lot more now that I'm feeling a little bit better. But yeah, definitely don't forget to subscribe, Apple, iTunes, SoundCloud, and we will see you on the next episode.